Hey, everybody, it's Tom. We have got what day of the week is it? Thursday morning game. The SSFA Super Bowl between, and it yells at me if I don't do that right, between Dan Morin's Kansas City Chiefs, 11-5, the 4 seed, and Dennis Crowley's 16-0. Now make that 18-0 Seattle Seahawks. Dennis telling me when he was 8-0, I don't see this team going 16-0. They don't really have that 16-0 type of look. They're not really a dominant team, blah, 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 blah. Here they are, 1 win away from the first undefeated season, regular season and postseason, 19-0. In SOMIFA/SSFA history. He may have done it in SOMSA. I'm not in SOMSA. I was there a couple of years, but I focus on SOMIFA/SSFA for whatever reason. So, and we're underway. So there's a kickoff. It's a slow one. Down to the 8-yard line. We returned 27 yards by Danny Johnson. So looks like the Chiefs are getting the ball first here. I played against this team in the playoffs in the round of 8, the quarterfinals. Lost a close one at the end, so I know the personnel well of the team. And then I called their semifinal matchup with Tony's Minnesota Vikings, the back-to-back defending champions. So Dan trying to run the table. And he was the 4 seed, so it's hardly a Cinderella story. Cue Bill Murray. But, the 4 seed, beat my club in the first round. That team has won SSFA Super Bowl, been to a second one. Beat Tony in the semifinals. Tony back-to-back defending champion. Now trying to beat Dennis, who we know wins all kinds of titles in all kinds of leagues. Dennis has been this is now his 5th straight SSFA Super Bowl. He lost the first 4. He lost the last 2 in close fashion, including a double overtime game. He did win a SOMIFA title way back when, maybe 8, 9, 10 years ago. So it's not like the cupboard is bare, naturally, for Dennis Crowley in any league, but in SSFA either. And but Dan's trying to beat 3 straight SSFA champions and guys that have combined for, what did I say, 9 Super Bowl appearances, 5 of them by Dennis. So I guess that makes it sound a little grander than it is, but it'd be a tremendous accomplishment. Just being here, of course, is an accomplishment. Aaron Rodgers, the quarterback for the Chiefs, showed up as Amari Cooper, successful double team for Dennis, playing that 4-3 defense. Going 5-4-4-5 up front. Picked off 2-3 in a dump off, and it's incomplete. As the paranoia sets in early in the broadcast, and broadcast seems fine. Dan Thor is my sound check man. Dan, tell me how the sound is on Slack, please. Any questions or comments, you can Slack me. If you want me to let you into the broadcast, like Nathan or someone, Slack me, say, hey, Tom, let me in, and I'll add you to the stream. Then you can speak on the broadcast. I have no problem with that. That was a 5-11, 1-64 sack on that pass. Dan Thorne says, perfect. Off tackle left. Kenneth Dixon guessed incorrectly. 9 is 9 yards. On Dixon's card. Dixon has an excellent guess wrong card. Also has, I believe, the 10 units of short gain on right. Interesting guess right card. 10 units of short gain. And then all kinds of minuses on off tackle. 5 minus 5, 7 minus 4. He has struggled a little bit in the playoffs so far the first 2 games. Maybe the stats weren't bad, but just didn't seem to have the impact you might have thought. 3rd and 1. Adrian Peterson checks in for the Chiefs. They've got tackle 6s like to run behind. They will give it to AP up the middle at times. Josh Gordon left and Amari Cooper right as your receivers. Likes to throw the short pass to try to hit something there with those guys. Gordon usually gets a couple of bomb shots a game. Linebacker Adrian Peterson, defense guesses incorrectly. No one there. Right tackle, -1 or +9. He's a 5 and cannot make the play. Dontari Poe, white die 6, beats the 5. So that would have been a loss of 1 and a likely punt. And instead we have first down. And this is a replay of an SSFA first quarter matchup, Dan Thorough tells us, which was won by Dennis, of course, because he's undefeated. 26-16. Kenneth Dixon in there. Chiefs got a first down to Seahawks 47. Flat pass left to Luke Stocker. Defense run king, Kenneth Dixon. There's a linebacker out there. He's a 4 or a safety or somebody's out there. It's got to be the linebacker, of course, because he's run king. So flat pass wrong. Rodgers dreaded 5 and the pass incomplete. Rodgers with 5 and 10 incomplete flat pass wrong. So that's 7 units of incomplete, but it's really nerfed down to 6 because the interception is on 12, not 11. So 6 units really of incomplete flat pass run for Rodgers. That'd be the same as 7 only, which is not that bad, I guess, when you think of it. Not great, I guess. People feel differently. Most quarterbacks nowadays, if you had the 5 only, you'd be like, okay, I can live with that. So this is certainly worse than most people would like. I think I saw Nathan sipping some morning coffee over there in the recliner. Blocking back, halfback for the Chiefs, 2nd and 10. 4-3 blitz for Dennis. Cameron Brates, you're blocking back. Off tackle right to Clinton. The defense gets the pass. The blitz is on. Linebackers in there. 7 on Dixon's card. 9-yard gain. Dixon's off to a nice start here for the Chiefs. 2 carries, 18 yards, but they've both been important. And it's a 3rd and 1 for Kansas City at the Seattle 38. Certainly 4-down territory, barring a sack. And Adrian Peterson checks back in. Linebacker Aaron Rodgers. Defense gets his run. Bobby Wagner's in the zone. 10, -1 on Rodgers' card. Linebacker right. Sets up 4th and 2 for the Chiefs at the Seattle 39. You expect him to go for it here. You never know. And he will. 2 tight, 3 wide. Interesting. He goes to the 3 wide formation, and we haven't seen it yet today. He's got no blocking along the interior here, but Dan knows the cards pretty well. He knows maybe front of the line, but with no linebackers, those readings are going to still be at least 2 yards if he doesn't get the block. That's a big part of this game. One of those cards, especially this league, you play average all the time. You can really look at the cards and know them very well. You get the same defense every week. I'm not a big fan of this 3 wide here. Linebacker Peterson defense gets the pass. Double teams great. 6 of the white die is no gain for Peterson. And even on the 2 or 3 with only 1 yard. And Dan would have just been angrier then if that had happened. But the white die 1 shows up. When you go 3 wide, then you're going to hit that white die 1. And it's a 1st down for the Seahawks, taking over and downs their own 39. And this offense has been very tough to stop this postseason. It's been a ball control attack. Excellent running, short passing, flat passing. Haven't seen a lot of long passing out of Dennis. Flat pass left, Frank Gore. Defense gets his run. 12 is 4 yards from Russell Wilson, of course, to Frank Gore. Russell Wilson, both of these men have been on this team, the SSFA Seahawks, their entire NFL careers. No, that's incorrect. Their entire SSFA careers. Frank Gore may have preceded the SSFA. Frank Gore may have been around the NFL a little longer than the SSFA, sure. But I believe he was Dennis's 1st-round pick, he told me, in the first season of SSFA, in the inaugural draft. Dennis did not have like a top 12 pick. Drafting the second half of the 1st round, went for the running back. It's worked out beautifully for him. He has an end run left to Frank Gore. 7 guess right is no gain. Sets up a 3rd and 6, containment in effect. Early 1st quarter, the Seahawks' 1st drive. And it likes to go 3 wide here. 3 wide, 1 fullback. So he's not going to run a draw with Kyle Juszczyk. The Russell Wilson end run is in play, but Dennis generally doesn't like to do the end run with Russell from the 3 wide. Doesn't want to get hit with that white die. 3 wide fullback, Kyle Juszczyk. A 6'5" this year. Defense showing pass. Of course, Chandler Jones is on the end here, somewhere around here. For the Chiefs, he's an asterisk 4. So one of the reasons Dennis wants to have Juszczyk in there, of course, he's an excellent receiver as well. Usually a 6'7". And when Dan's showing blitz and being known as a blitzing guy, hasn't been crazy with it at all this postseason. More of an overall defensive approach. Not so much the hair on fire. Short pass, Will Fuller. Defense containing Russell Wilson, it looks like. Fuller covered by a 4. Receiver guess right is incomplete on Fuller, who I think looks like it's about a 1926 there. That's what I count quickly. And Trey Way, no way, comes out for the punt. Not one of the better punters around. He's got a pretty good card. Maybe the opponent punting is not so good. He booms one 59 yards. That's going to go into the end zone where even Adam Pac-Man Jones will certainly let it bounce, I would assume. And the Chiefs will take over on downs. Not on downs. It's early in the morning. I had a little coffee. I'm not tired. One pass to Amari Cooper. Defense gets it correctly, but there's no one there. Receiver gets right. Amari Cooper streaking down the sideline from Rodgers. He beats his man. He could go all the way. Snake eyes on the receiver right, plus 90. Plus 90. How often do you see that? Not often at all. But you're seeing it here in the SSFA Super Bowl 2018 card set edition. early first quarter, Aaron Rodgers to Amari Cooper, 80-yard touchdown, and the Kansas City Chiefs have a 7-0 lead in the Seahawks here in the SSFA Super Bowl. The kickoff goes down to the 2-yard line for DJ Chark. Opponent kick return is 17 yards, up to the 19. Dennis said, maybe I can do him better and do an 81-yard touchdown on this play. 1 yard better. We'll see. And those receivers, look, some of these receivers have got a sick number on a 2 or a 12. You usually never get it the whole season, right or wrong. And you get in the Super Bowl early. First and 10, you're on 20. Guess right. Even though no one's there, that's something else. Sure best Doug Baldwin. He was double teaming elsewhere. Baldwin covered by a 6, but Dennis not shy. Throws it to him from Russell. And there's that connection. It worked well. It was hot in the first half, I believe, of Dennis's semifinal victory over Nathan Baylor, who's listening. 12-yard pickup, first down. Dennis almost always has good pass blocking. This team is no exception. Max Unger with the 7 against Kawan Short's 3. Kawan's going to have a tough time getting to Russell today. Sure bet Doug Baldwin, defense double teaming elsewhere, but the all-out blitz picked off 2 to 5, and Russell's card is incomplete. That would have given this first quarter a new complexion. And a second down and 10 for the Hawks. We're seeing pass calls plus blitzing. That can be tough. It can be tough on an offense. You want to run some draw plays, but maybe the other guy calls a draw. You want to do some flat passes. You can still get a sack or something better on your card. Guys will still flood the flat. So I've noticed that a lot in some of the guys the last couple of years. They've been doing it for a long time, I'm sure. It took me a long time to maybe notice it. But anyway, I finally noticed it perhaps. In the last couple of years, a lot of the coaches will do that. It's very effective. Sure best Kyle Juszczyk, even gets the pass, blitzing all around. Aiden Russell's card is incomplete. There's about 2 blitzes there. Looked like Kyle did not have any coverage on him. Dan hoping for the old D with the white die 6 automatic sack as you throw it to the blocking back. But Frank Gore was back there. Dennis told me that he would have picked him up. So I emailed him about the very question because I'm pretty sure that was the case before I played Dan in the playoffs a week or 2 ago. 3 wide, 1 fullback, pistol formation. Juszczyk again in there, defense showing blitz again. Showed blitz last time on 3rd and long, didn't bring it. Be a nice victory for the Chiefs here to stop Dennis. Long pass to Will Fuller. All out blitz, but Dennis got good pass blocking. And it comes by a 4, but on Wilson's card, 8 is incomplete. Dennis says, he beat the blitz. It was a black die 6 with a white die 5, 7 on a 15 with a 1 of 46 sack. No sack forthcoming. 35-yard punt goes down to the 36-yard line. I think Dan's got a decent returner. Randall Cobb it takes a bounce and kicks back 3 yards, so a net 32. Dan will take that, and he's got a 1st and 10 at his own 37. Midway through the first quarter, leading 7-0 and then defeated Seahawks. Long pass, Cameron Cooper. Nobody there. Defense double team elsewhere. 5 on Rodgers' card. Guess right. It's a long gain, 37 yards from Rodgers to Cooper. That's the connection here in the first quarter of the Super Bowl. And Dan, right away, the 26. Go big or go home indeed. 2 big bombs from Rodgers to Cooper. And the Chiefs are in business. 1st and 10 at the Seattle 26. Flat pass left to Cooper. Defense gets his run. Linebackers a 4. Receiver gets wrong 10 yards. Amari Cooper says, I want to be the Super Bowl MVP. Aaron says, who's throwing the ball? They always give it to the quarterback. Amari says, what about Jerry Rice and Deion Branch? They're having an unusual conversation in the huddle. But it's 1st and 10 for the Chiefs at the Seahawks 16 now. 6 minutes to go. Dennis suddenly up against the ropes. And he's got to make a stand. They're showing blitz. When push comes to shove, show blitz. Off tackle right to Kenneth Dixon. The linebacker in the zone gets wrong. Dreaded 5, only 1 yard on Dixon's card. The only reading that is not 6 yards or more is that dreaded 5. 2nd down and 9. These guys play pretty quickly. No Tom Cook, Michael Reeves action here. 2nd and 9. I'm sorry, Michael. We play slowly. Off tackle right to Kenneth Dixon. Guess right. There's that -4. And Dennis gets wrong. It's a loose ball. Dixon's got a high fumble number. Seattle falls on it. Oh, my stars and garters. What a turn of events. Kenneth Dixon with a 56 fumble number. And that was I guess right. And that was a 15 would have fumbled right or wrong. And Ryan Anderson, Mr. Anderson, falls on it. Dennis's defense with a timely turnover just when they were against the ropes. Now it's time to counterpunch. The Seahawks, will they go big? Will they grind it out? Some flat passing perhaps? Off tackle left, Frank Gore. There's a linebacker there. 8 is a gain of 3. We'll see if Dennis starts sprinkling some draw calls. It's so hard when the other guy will guess run occasionally. And Dan has already guessed run a few times today. Maybe some flat passes to Gore. But, it's tough. Flat pass right. Eric Ebron against short yardage. Receiver gets wrong as 9 yards in the first down. And let's see if the Seahawks can get a drive going. That might have been their first down of the game. Dennis says, I'd like to add a second one to it here. The big fumble by Kenneth Dixon when the Chiefs were looking to take advantage in a big way and seize control. Looking best, Eric Ebron gets incorrectly. Boxcar, short gain on the quick slant from Russell to Ebron gets wrong. 15 yards and a first down, and the Hawks were up by the 46. That time, Dan did the old bring the safety up, split the linebackers out, call run routine. And it was a little bit of a my card, your card situation to get that safety 6 in the look-in zone. And Dennis got his card. Emerald left Frank Gore. 6 and 7 is a short gain. There's 6 for a short gain. And Frank the Tank goes around in for 19 yards. And the Seahawks are suddenly at the Kansas City 35, just like that. Dennis likes those guest wrong columns. He mixes up his play calls to try and hit them. Something we could all learn from. And there's 2:42 to go. Lineman Franco, nobody there. Double box in play. No tackle +3 or +7. He's a 5, but the white die 6 says Kawan Short cannot make the play. Comes up short with that white die 5, pun intended. 7-yard pickup for Gore. 2nd and 3, 2:06 to go. Seahawks at the Kansas City 28. It's a low turnover offense. Dennis has not been taking deep shots this postseason. Lineman Frank Gore, double box in play, and he hits the box. 7 yards, and the defense of the box makes it 17 yards for Gore down to the 11. Couple plays in this drive on 1st and 2nd down. Dan blitzing into the off-tackle zones, vacating the linebucker to Gore. Dennis says, I'll take that linebucker, sir, with boxes to boot. Linebacker to Gore again, double box again in play, but 8's on the offense's card this time for 5 yards. That was a single box in the previous reading. This time there was one linebacker behind, only the double box in play. But Gore says, I'll stay my card for a solid 5, as he's been wanting to do throughout his NFL and SSFA career. 6 carries, 51 yards for Frank the Tank. 54 seconds to go in the first half. And Malcolm Brown, defense double teaming elsewhere. Brown's wide open around the end for the pitch out and strolls into the end zone for a touchdown. 6 yards makes it 7-6. And the Hawks will send out Harrison Bucker. Sometimes Dennis goes for 2 here. I wouldn't advise it, but I'm advising for the cheap seats. He's in the luxury box to the sideline. Not luxury box. He's on the sideline. He's going for 2. Full house backfield. 6'5" for the interior blocking. Perhaps Dan's inside linebackers aren't that great, but it's got that safety 6 who can come up. Defense showing blitz. Linebacker Malcolm Brown. Right guard 4-0. Just knocking into the end zone the white die 6. And Dennis is trailing 7-6 despite scoring a touchdown on his most recent possession. The kick goes down to the 1, and Danny Johnson takes it 31 yards up to the 32. So a better field position than usual, following a kickoff for Dan. And Dennis is saying, I got to get this Butker guy to get the ball into the end zone on a 6 or a 7 or 8 or something like that. Off that left hand Dixon, even if guess is wrong. Dreaded 5 +1 for Dixon. 2 in a row for those for Dixon, who's down to 5 carries for 16 yards after a good start on his first 2 carries. And just like that, we're in the second quarter. 2nd and 9 Chiefs at their own 33. Dixon's still in there. Dan's got a second half man that he brings in. Linebacker to Kenneth Dixon. Nobody there, but it's a 4-3. 7 is only 1 yard on the linebacker. Dan says, why didn't everyone off tackle? Damn it. That was something good. Either a short gain or a +9, or it was a +9 on the 7 on the off tackle earlier in the game. 3rd and 8. C.J. Anderson is your second half running back for the Chiefs, with Adrian Peterson playing both halves and coming in on 3rd and long. Dan will run the draw sometimes here. 3 wide, 1 halfback, shotgun formation. Randall Cobb's your 3rd receiver, covered by 4. The corners of 5s, the starters. 4 strong safety covering Brait. 4 right linebacker covering Peterson. Short pass to Josh Gordon. Defense double teaming elsewhere. 4 men in the zone. No blitz on. 10 is incompleted down Rogers' card. He's got 5, 6, 7, and 3, and a pretty nice must run. So the Chiefs will punt it with that 1-point lead. 51-yard punt from Michael Dixon. Goes down to the 15-yard line. I don't recall if Dennis has back there. And Dwayne Harris has a touchdown on 2, but it's going to bounce. And takes a Chief bounce about 7 yards, it looks like. Animation is accurate that time. And a 7-yard punt makes it a 58-yard net. Off tackle draw to Frank Gore, short yardage. 8 is -1 on Gore's card of the key. Would have been no gain anyway. And he's not the good guess right, so Dennis said, what the heck, I'll run the draw. And Dan's been blitzing him, maybe going for the sack. And Dan with a nice run call, not even run, when a short yardage. Sets up second and 11. That's dangerous short yardage. One pass, Will Fuller. Defense doubling elsewhere. He's going by 4. And defender X a long gain. Coming by 4. Wilson looks like he's got Will Fuller down the sideline. He beats the 4. It's a long gain. 62 yards from Russell Wilson to Will Fuller, who gets all the way down to the Kansas City 31 before being knocked out of bounds. And Dennis said, if you're gonna bring your guys up and throw your seats all over the place, I'm gonna take some shots to Will Fuller. I don't care. I haven't been throwing bombs this postseason. He's covered by 4. I'm going to make you respect it. Flat pass left to Frank Gore. Nobody there. Gore's open. For the defense is 7 yards. As Dan's been blitzing. And Dan's trying to make him pay for it. That was not, was that on a white die 6? It wasn't a white die 6. So there would have been nobody there anyway. There was a white die 2 to start. The whole play would have played out differently. Linebacker Frank Gore, double box and play again. Short gain on Gore's guard. I should say triple box in play. That'll be the new vernacular. If you yield both the single and double box and the linebacker, which Dan did there, Gore had his own card. Linebacker 7, short gain, 19 yards. 8 carries, 69 yards. First and goal from the 5 for the Hawks. Full house backfield. Malcolm Brown, who had the touchdown earlier, is your third back. Linebacker Malcolm Brown. Defense gets the pass. 1 linebacker there. 6 is a 3-yard gain for Malcolm. Sets up second and goal for the 2. I'll bet you dollars to donuts. Dennis goes for 2 if he gets this ball into the end zone. And if he gets to 4th and goal from the 1 or 2, don't be surprised if he goes for it. 3-4 blitz coming from this defense. Russell Wilson looking things over at the line of scrimmage. Malcolm Brown. Russell's keyed. Linebacker in zone, 0+4. Malcolm Brown gets past the tackle of Manti Te'o, whose Canadian girlfriend is not in the stands tonight. No one's seen her in a while. Touchdown Seahawks, 12-7. And the full house is out there again for the 2-pointer. I wish he had gone for 1 the first time. It was a little early for that 2-pointer in my view in this matchup. That's just my view. Of course, Dennis 18-0. Short pass to Eric Ebron gets incorrectly. 4 men, 11 incomplete. Now it's only 12-7 as he misses consecutive 2-point tries. He may regret that later on. So Dennis with 12 straight points into being down 7-0. And that kick goes into the end zone, presumably, for touchback. Stratolatic not allowing us to see it. Not suitable for a younger audience. 1st and 10 Chiefs at their own 25. Short pass Cameron Braid. Even double teaming elsewhere. 1 blitz on. 5 is complete and Rodgers caught for 14 yards to his tight end. And the Chiefs are up at their own 39. Rodgers having a good game so far. 4 of 7, $141. 1 touchdown, no interceptions, 2 big bombs, and not the man who fumbled, which was Kenneth Dixon. 1st and 10 for the Chiefs. 5 pass left to right. Defense guesses wrong. Receiver gets wrong, +8. Not the best yardage in the world for a tight end on this Cameron Braid card, but he's a pretty good player. And he gets 8 yards up towards midfield. I think from Harvard, Cameron Braid is. And I think he's still on Tampa Bay with Gronk and O.J. Howard, I believe, when Braid finally got released or traded or something, I forget. 2nd and 2 for the Chiefs. Adrian Peterson has been the short yardage man in the formation. Haven't always used him a lot, but flat pass right to Antonio Gates. Blitz is on. Linebacker's there. Receiver gets wrong, though, because the man was covering Gates, who was responsible for covering Gates, was blitzing. And it's 10 yards and a big first down for the Chiefs across midfield. Would have been 7 yards guessed correctly. 6 of 9, $159 for Rodgers, who's sharp. Off tackle left to Dixon. If he guesses wrong, Dan wants his own card. Gets 9 is 9 yards, 9 for 9. He'll take that. This card got 11 units of short gain or better, and then 13 units of exactly +9. That's pretty nice. So, I'm wrong. 2nd and 1. There's Peterson again in short yardage. Dan says, I'll conserve the attempts. Dixon loses a lot of yardage, gets right. Linebacker Aaron Rodgers, defense guessing pass. Center 3-0. That man's only a 4. It is Ryan Khalil who cannot make the block. No gain, despite the wrong call, as I have my Discord open for Dungeons and Dragons. 3rd and 1 for the Chiefs and for EVE Online, which is not playing as much. Getting a lot into Dungeons and Dragons the last few weeks. 3rd and 1 for the Chiefs at the Seattle 34. Mid-second quarter. 4-3 blitz being shown by the defense. Dennis daring him. Yeah, throw a bomb. Dan Moore wants to say, I want to make you pay for doing that. Let's see. Left tackle left to Peterson. Defense gets his run. Keeps the safety home. No gain gets right on AP. So not your Vikings, Adrian Peterson. And it's 4th and 1, and the Chiefs will go for it again. Remember, they were stopped here earlier in the game on a 3-wide formation, white tie 1 on Adrian Peterson's card, which wouldn't have had it anyway. Now he stays blocking back, halfback with Kenneth Dixon in there. Says, I'll leave Adrian Peterson on the bench for this one. Doesn't have the vintage card. Fly pass right, Kenneth Dixon. Defense gets his run. Linebacker is the 5. Dreaded 5 of Rogers' card incomplete. So here's where that flat pass wrong, not being like your Kirk Cousins or Derek Carr type of guy, is hurting Rogers. The Chiefs failed to convert 2 fourth down opportunities in no man's land. Too far for a field goal, too close for a punt. And the Seahawks take over, leading 12-7. And there's a slight delay. I think that Dan's typing something in. No, he's not typing something in. 1st and 10 for the Hawks at their own 34. Frank Gore has been playing excellent football here in this first half for Seattle, as he's done for so many years. So it's looking to end their 4-game Super Bowl losing streak. How many of us have even been to a Super Bowl 4 straight times in the league? I certainly haven't. Linebacker Frank Gore, double box in play. He guessed correctly, but the double box is there anyway. Plus 19. Gore is gouging this Chiefs defense right at the middle. 9 carries, 88 yards. Dan again went for the old safety 6 for when you play a 3-4. Safety 6 and looking. Linebackers flanked out to the side. Dennis running up the middle. Is Zev Strong watching this game? Because he would be quite happy with that play call. With that play call style that Dennis is using. Linebacker Frank Gore again. Double box again in play. Single box for 7 yards against a run call. And Dennis killing the Chiefs on their own card here on the linebacker because the Chiefs are not bringing a guy into the zone. Dennis says, I'll keep doing it. And he's doing it and doing it and doing it well, as LL Cool J once said. 2nd and 3 for the Hawks at the Kansas City 40. Short pass, Eric Ebron. Defense calls run. Receiver gets wrong, plus 11. First down from Russell to Ebron. And the Hawks are down to the Kansas City 29. And suddenly the Chiefs are up against it. This Chiefs team, though, has had a penchant for the comeback here in the postseason, scoring double-digit points unanswered, I believe, in the playoffs against me. Linebacker Frank Gore gets right that time, but 7 yards on Gore's card on the 4, the best number you can get on that card. Came back with double-digit points in the fourth quarter against me to win. Came back with double-digit points, I believe, unanswered also against Tony in the fourth quarter to win. So, obviously, you don't want to go down double-digit points, but at least he knows he's done it before and come back to win as Frank Gore passes the century mark with 4:12 still to go in the first half. And Mike Davis eager to get going in the second half for the Seahawks offense. Off tackle, Ron to Gore, 7. Short gain, 17 yards from Frank Gore down to the 5-yard line. He's got 11 units of short gain, better than off tackle card. 12 carries, 119 yards for Frank Gore in the first half. And he looks like he wants to take that MVP away from Amari Cooper, who was off to a hot start. A little harder for wide receiver to keep it going. Stratomatic. Full house backfield. Linebacker Frank Gore, defense against the pass. 5-yard touchdown right at the gut for Frank Gore. It's been Frank Gore, and more Frank Gore. 13 carries, 124 yards. More for Gore, 18-7 Hawks. He goes for the extra point for the first time this game. It's up and it's good. The Seahawks lead 19-7, and we are at a critical juncture in the game for the Kansas City Chiefs, who have to kick off to the Seahawks to start the third quarter with mighty Mike Davis ready to check into the game and no injuries in effect, so he will be playing. This kickoff goes 3 yards deep into the end zone for Danny Johnson, who takes a knee. I did my vocal exercises before the game. I slept well last night. Took my sleep apnea mask. So I feel good about how I'm calling the game so far. Off tackle left to Kenneth Dixon. Defensive tackle +2 or +6. That man's only a 4. Danico Autry could not make the play. More known for rushing the passer. Dixon finally gets up to the 4-yard per carry mark after a rough stretch of carries there. 2nd and 4 for the Chiefs. Dixon still in. Dan will not abandon the run. He'll also take some shots deep. Off tackle, draw to Kenneth Dixon. Defense gets the pass. Nobody there. I thought tackle +4 +1 is 4 yards. Oh, Dixon fumbles again. Kenneth Dixon fumbles the ball again. He got a high fumble number. Zeb kept him on the bench. I mean, comparatively high, but in itself, it's not a huge deal. As my game crashes, of course, Stratomatic does not want you to enjoy the game too much. They enjoy multiple crashes. We have a fumble. What happened? Who knows? Someone recovered. Dogs and cats living together. It's another Bill Murray line. I haven't watched Ghostbusters in a long time. Why did that come into mind? I don't know. I think I can just do it from here, but yeah, let's do it from here. Wake up. Spell mode on. 62561. And all I know now, well, the Hawks recovered that fumble, and now they're at the Kansas City 17-yard line. 2 fumbles from Kenneth Dixon. Chiefs in big trouble here. They're down 19-7. The Seahawks are knocking on the door again. Frank Gore is in the game, don't you know? Linebacker to Gore, defense gets the run. Double box in play. Pops the double box again. He keeps picking up the safety, sliding the guys out. Dennis is killing with the 7 and 8s. 19 yards for Frank Gore. 17-yard touchdown. 25-7. Seattle over Kansas City in the first half of this SSFA Super Bowl. And Harrison Butker, will Dennis go for 2 here, or will he go for 1? He goes for 1. Butker's out. 25-7. Keeps it a 3-score game. If he makes it, and he does, and even those 3 scores would be 2 touchdowns and 2 extra points. Of course, first half a little early to think about that stuff. It was 26-7. And if you thought the last possession came at a critical juncture for the Chiefs, what do you think about this one? Because now they're at their own 26. There's only 97 seconds to go in the first half. They do have all 3 timeouts. They bring an AP. Look at that pop that 2 plus 90 on the off tackle. Off tackle right to Peterson gets wrong. Defensive tackle plus 5 plus 36. The Negro Orchard can make the play. White dive 6 against a 4 and showing flashes of his old glory. It's Adrian Peterson running 36 yards off tackle. Chiefs at the Seattle 38, 1:15 to go. As they run a hurry-up offense, Stratomatic not doing my play animation. Peterson in there again. Flat pass left to Cameron Bray. Defense calls pass, blitzing a linebacker. White die 6 is 20 yards from Rodgers to Bray down to the Seattle 18. And the Chiefs are ready to get right back in this game, down 26-7. They've been the comeback kids of this SSFA postseason, and they're going to need some of that stuff in a big way here today. 1:07 to go. Dan says, let me get in the end zone. Let me stop Dennis to start the third quarter, and we'll do a little game reset, see what happens. It would still be down 2 scores at that point, but right now we take it. Flat pass left to Josh Gordon. 2 men there gets wrong. And in the defensive card with 2 men that's incomplete was a white dive 5. So it would have been a linebacker zone plus 1 or plus 6. Would have been a 6-yard gain. Instead, it's incomplete. Thanks to the presence of free safety Eric Harris for the Chiefs. Short pass, Luke Stocker. Defense blitzing. Receiver gets right. 7 is 11 yards. So Luke Stocker with the old blocking back receiving card, not the tight end receiving card. And the pass rush situation was a 5 on a 2. Bobby Wagner playing better in space than rushing the passer. Only a 1 of 16 stack. Dennis heard me say that. He probably, he's trying to actually have something in there because he could rush the pass if he needed to. Whatever. I'm sorry, Dennis. First and goal for the 7 for the Chiefs. 52 seconds left. They get all 3 timeouts. Full house backfield. C.J. Anderson checking in with Adrian Peterson. Linebacker C.J. Not the best blocking up front there. And 8 is no gain on C.J.'s card. See if Dennis calls timeout or if he's content to let the first half expire. He'll probably call timeout. So, hey, maybe I get a big kick return. Maybe get a little double box. Maybe everyone Russell Wilson action. No. So Dennis is going to let the first half expire here at the end. Second and goal from the 7. 30 seconds to go. Defense showing blitz. That would have been a receiver reading on a short pass. CJ has an excellent guess wrong card. Peterson's a little more sputtering on his card. Playing against the 4-3. I think he's got a 7 at one tackle, a 5 at the other. Don't think he's got the best pass blocking in the world. That's his only 7 as the left tackle. Of course, you don't get the linebacker bump. Short pass, Adrian Peterson. The blitz is on. And Rodgers stands there against the blitz, gets enough time, connects to AP on the left side of the formation. And Peterson waltzes into the end zone for a big touchdown to make it 26-13. Brandon McManus on for the extra point, which is 2-12. So it's up and good with no block there. He can still get the block at a 1 and 2-16 or something like that. But 26-14, the Chiefs did what they had to do there after falling behind. And now they kick it deep, not fearing anything from Dwayne Harris's card. It kicks down to the 5. Harris brings that 17 yards to the 22. And presumably Dennis will take a knee here. Or he could pad some more stats for Frank Gore. Locking back one halfback. Could do a flat to one of these guys, but Dennis will probably take a knee. And Russell Wilson takes a knee. Now, Dan could call timeout here to ruin Russell's rushing stats, make him take another knee. That's not what happens. Instead, the clock expires. We're at the end of the first half. It's 26-14 Seahawks, who went for two two-point conversions early on and missed it. Chiefs were up 7-0 and driving for more when Kenneth Dixon fumbled. Hawks came back with 2 touchdowns, make it 12-7. Chiefs have gotten stopped in a couple of fourth down opportunities in no man's land. It's in between the Seattle 33 and 40. Dixon fumbled later in the half, and the Chiefs came back with a touchdown drive last 2 minutes, and we're underway in the second half of this SSFA Super Bowl 2018 edition. Dennis Crowley leading 26-14 in the 26-14 at the half, and now the early third quarter. Frank Gore is still in there. Dennis says, Frank's hot. Let me let Mike Davis rest his legs a little bit. You'll be seeing plenty of him very soon, I promise you. Short Pascal Juszczyk, successful double team for Malcolm Jenkins. Defender X incomplete. That man was only a 4. So good double team by Dan. Was a white die 6. So D Ford would not have been able to make that play. Good thing Malcolm Jenkins had his eye on the San Francisco fullback. And now Mike Davis checks in. He's got a very strong card. Dennis loves to run it, and he runs it well. Blocking back, halfback, pistol formation. Dan says, how about hands full of Frank Gore? Now what do I do with this guy? Looks like a right to David. David gets to run. No one there. 3 gets right is 6 yards. Best reading on the card. 3 and 12 gets right. 3rd and 4. He's got that Mike Davis magic. Smells like somebody's either smoking near my house or cooking something. And they're not smoking cigarettes. 3rd and 4 for the Seahawks at their own 26. Smells good, actually. At their own 31, sorry. It must be the fumes. Off tackle right to Mike Davis gets wrong. Defensive end +2 or +9. He cannot make the play. 9 yards in the first down. That was Dietrich Wise, who's only a 4. So the white die 6, getting the better of Wise. Wise moved by Dennis running that way. The punt just keep coming. Davis gains 9 for a first down to the Kansas City, to his own 40-yard line. Early third quarter. Important drive here for the Chiefs defensively. They had a lot of trouble stopping Dennis. Those 2 pointers could really hurt Dennis. If he gets held to a field goal, it's 29-14. That's a 2-score game with touchdowns. It's a 2-score game now, but you hit to get 2 scores, you score, you still have only 2 scores. Off tackle left of Mike Davis, gets right, gains 4 yards. Very solid card. Right and wrong. And it's 2nd down and 6. And Dennis will run this card. Don't worry about that. 11 unfatigued left, and Gore still got quite a few carries. Malcolm Brown is in this rotation as well. Short pass, Eric Ebron is a short yardage defense. I think the guy's a 0 now covering him. On Russell's card gets wrong, no need for a defender check. 3 is complete for 13 yards and a first down. The Hawks across midfield once more. This team has just been move the chains all postseason, and presumably all regular season behind the running game and Russell Wilson. Short pass to Eric Ebron gets wrong. Foreman in the zone. It's incomplete on the defense's card. Dan says, I got to do something against these guys. As he gets to 2nd and 10. He's had a couple of 2nd and 10 opportunities, but it doesn't seem like many. And I cannot remember the last time he saw Seattle on a 3rd and long. His first couple of possessions of the game, the Seahawks were struggling offensively, but then they really got things humming. 2nd and 10, Mike Davis in there, pistol formation. Then it's showing off that he can go to the pistol, and Davis doesn't do the errand anyway. Long pass, Will Fuller. Yes, wrong. There was a safety 6 back there. Defensive back in zone. I think that might be Kevin Byard. And it's incomplete. Good thing Dan stayed home there. I'll see what the white die was. It was a white die 6. It's Malcolm Jenkins, wrong team, as the free safety. So that would have been a long gain if he had moved that safety anywhere else. This time he left him home. Good move there. As 3rd and 10 for the Hawks. Just as I say, when's the last time we see them in 3rd and long? They're in 3rd and long. As the Kansas City 43. So Dennis stays blocking back halfback with Davis, pistol formation, knowing if I want to run the ball. I shouldn't say I want to run the ball. Dennis saying if I can get 4 or 5 or 6 yards, this is 4 down territory for me. I'll get myself into no man's land, and I want to go for it. Everyone knows he wants to go for it. He knows it. I know it. You know it. Dan knows it. Well, let's see what happens. Dennis play off of that and throw a pass. Ball pass, Will Fuller. There's a man there. Defense playing with the old must-run containment. 10 on Russell's card is incomplete. And now, surely even Dennis will punt the ball on 4th down and 10 for the Kansas City 43. A little razzle-dazzle. That's the Bill Murray. I don't know why the Bill Murray lines are in my mind today. This morning. Nothing with that. He's got a lot of good lines. And the coffin corner punt. And it looks like goes into the end zone. I thought he was going to get a good punt there. It went 42 yards and took a bounce is what happened. And it took a Kansas City bounce. Dennis says, I like it as a 23-yard net. He doesn't like that. But the Chiefs have got a 1st and 10. They're on 20. 26-14. They got the stop. Can they get the score? C.J. Anderson checks in. 11 on fatigue carries for him. Line up to C.J. Defensive pass, up double box and play. Dreaded 5+1. There's 3 of those for Dan so far on the ground. 2 with Dixon and 1 with C.J. So I can get the 8 on the defense's card. He would have taken a 7 even. That might be center reading. I thought 4-3. Let's waste some time looking at that during the Super Bowl. No, it's +5. 2nd and 9 for the Chiefs at their own 21. Dennis will let CJ eat up those carries and play the long game. Nathan Baylor shaking his head probably in the background, though I can't see it. Line looks at CJ, guessed correctly. 8+7 on the defense with no linebackers up. So 7-yard pickup for CJ. 3 carries, 8 yards. One of those was inside the 10. That's a 3rd and 2 for the Chiefs. They're on 20. They struggled in short yardage a bit here today. Adrian Peterson, not a great guess right card, but he's in there. Short pass, Cameron Brate. Coming by 4. Defense guesses correctly. 3 in there. Interception split is incomplete. And Dan will face a 4th and 2 from his own 28. Down 26-14. Most people would punt it here. But he's a little, you can tell he's probably a little frustrated. He's not. Maybe you get Dan about 12 hours from now. He might change his mind because maybe later in the night, the decision making can be different sometimes. 40-yard punt goes down around the 20, takes a bounce, takes a Seahawk bounce, kicks back 3 yards, 45-yard net. And Dennis with a good defensive stop there to preserve the game situation that he wants, which is being up by 2 touchdowns. Flat pass left to Mike Davis. Receiver gets right +7. He does it all, doesn't he, Dennis? I think he's maxed out as a receiver gets wrong. Good yardage on wrong, and pretty good on 8 and 9 on right. Don't get a lot of yardage on flat pass right on your running backs nowadays. Wilson 10 of 18, $155. No touchdowns, no interceptions. Mid-3rd quarter, the fast and the furious. 2nd and 3 for Seattle. Mike Davis in there. Dan wants to do a red key. Will he? Looks like a right to Davis. Run call. Linebacker there. 3 is +6. This David card is just tough to stop. You got if you don't bring up enough linebackers, you don't run key. But now Dennis has taken some shots to Will Fuller, who's covered by a 4. That's in Dan's mind. Hard to run key when you've seen that. And you've seen a few of those bombs to Fuller. 1st and 10. Frank Gore says, put me in, coach. I'm ready to play today. 8:06 to go. Dan taking his time with this play call. Short pass Doug Baldwin. Defense blitzing 2, double teaming 2. Dump off for 4 from Wilson to Mike Davis. There's that man. No, misdirection to Kyle Juszczyk. The animation, so misleading. That was a 5 and a 6, 1-24 sack. Dan wouldn't like this. Juszczyk seems to make the block and then releases into the flat for the flat pass reception. Okay. STRAT may need to work on that one. 2nd and 6 for the Hawks at their own 44. Shopazak Ebron gets wrong. He's been hitting Ebron for solid yardage, and there's a 12-yard completion on a short pass wrong. Seems like every time he's thrown a short pass to Eric Ebron, it's been wrong with 3 men in the zone. It might have been wrong with 4 men, I don't remember. He's covered by 4, and that's worked out nicely for Dennis. And he crossed midfield once again. Touchdown, he would be just devastating. Show up as Eric Ebron, do a blitzing 3. He'd use a sack. Instead, it's a long game defensive card. Box card, 3 men. Eric Ebron going down the middle of the field for 34 yards. Tackled down around the 10-yard line. The Seattle Seahawks, 18-0. Lost 4 straight Super Bowls. Won the title 8, 9, 10 years ago, somewhere around there. And he's looking to win it again. I've either have the first perfect team in some for SSFA history, or if it's like a right Mike Davis, he got short games red at 5, goes the other way, and it's a 1 yard pickup only. This touchdown would be huge. Yeah, if I was Dennis, I would feel like I get a touchdown here. I'm going to win this thing. That's how I would feel in my head. I might be wrong, but that's how I'd feel. Full house, Davis and Brown. Maybe Brown around the end. If he loses yards, he opens up the flat pass. And when right, Malcolm Brown guessed correctly, 8 is no gain. 3rd and goal from the 9. 5 or 6 to go. Dennis is not shy. He'll probably throw a pass here or do an end run for Russell. Don't forget about that, folks. Oh, he loves doing that. His favorite play in all of Stratomatic land. 3rd and goal for the 9. It's either end run Russell or it's a pass. So he likes Davis off tackle too. Nickel 3-3-5. He's got short gain options in the running game. Short pass to Eric Ebron, guessed incorrectly. Oh, short pass wrong is incomplete on Russell's card. With Foreman in the zone, Dan was feeling the end run Russell or something with Mike Davis for a short gain. And Dennis brings out Harrison Butker from the 9, of course. Says, let me take the easy 3 if I can get it. And 2-11 is good, and it's good. 29-14 Seahawks. So not what Dennis wanted, but still helpful. And this kick goes deep into the end zone. Nothing that Danny Johnson can do with this one. And there'll be a touchback or Pharaoh Cooper. It's Danny Johnson. Very loud gulping. Linebacker Adrian Peterson, defense guys calls run. Nobody there. 8 is no gain. Peterson not that good on right. Dan brings me up the misdirection, hoping for the wrong calls. Then you get the good yardage, and it works. But when they get the right call, it can be tough. 2nd and 10 for the Chiefs. It's only down 2 touchdowns. It's been a comeback team. Touchdown drive here. It's a whole different Super Bowl, right? And we're right to Peterson. Defense, there's nobody there. Guess wrong. Offensive on the guard, 8-3 is only a 4, and cannot make the block. That was Cameron Irving with the failure. That's harsh. Who cares? Does anyone know Cameron Irving personally? He's a white die 4. It's a white die 6 against his 4 rating. So it's only a 3-yard pickup. 3rd and 7 for the Chiefs. After 120 dances, boy, I really could use a first down here. I don't want to trot my defense back out in the field. They're a little fatigued. And Dennis is having his way with them. Short pass, C.J. Anderson being uncovered. Foreman in the zone. Double teaming elsewhere. Dump ball for a short gain and a first down. Dennis stayed back instead of rushing. It was Teron Armstrong at 7 anyway. It would have been hard. But actually, the random number was only a 12. So with blitz, he would have got the sack. Interesting call, 3rd and 7. The linebacker double team. Some people feel the flat pass there. Dennis says sometimes you got to go away from what they're feeling. And run to Adrian Peterson. Guess wrong. Defensive end, plus 11 to plus 47. What is that guy's rating? I think he's only a 4. Oh, it's Derek Wolf's the 5. Okay, I could remember his rating. It would have been as excited, but it's a white die 5. Derek Wolf needed all 5 of that rating to hold Peterson to an 11-yard pickup instead of a big 47-yarder. 7 carries, 59 yards for AP. Flat pass left to AP, linebacker there. He's only a 4. White die 6 is a 9-yard completion from Rodgers to Peterson. So Dennis is dominating the Super Bowl since the early second quarter at a minimum. But now you say, yeah, but the Chiefs score a touchdown this drive. It's a 1-touchdown game. All bets are off. Off tackle right to AP. Defense calls run, but that's an offensive tackle 6. Dwayne Brown pushes some people out of the way. And it's an 8-yard pickup for Peterson. 1st and 10, Chiefs at the Seattle 30. Then I says, you know what? Maybe I should have taken those extra points in the first quarter. Off tackle right to Adrian Peterson. Oh, 3 is a 4-yard pickup. Dan says, Tom, what about the 2? I'll take the 4 short game. How about that 2? Plus 90. Amari Cooper style. 2nd and 6 for the Chiefs at the Seattle 26. This is a huge possession here. Off tackle right to AP. Defense calls run. Has a linebacker there. Linebacker's zone plus 2 or plus 6. I don't think that man is that great against the run. He is pretty good. It's Leighton Vander Esch. And Dennis's first-round pick this year with a 5 against a 4. 2 yards and a first down. 3rd and 4 for the Chiefs. We're in the 4th quarter of the SSFA Super Bowl here. Less than 1 hour after kickoff. Who knows what time we started? Not me. Off tackle right, C.J. Anderson, 3rd and 4, guess wrong. Gets only 3 yards on his card. Interesting card. A lot of short gains, of good yardage, but some bad stuff on the 4-5-6, certainly not chunky. And it's 4th and 1 for the Chiefs at the Seattle 21, trailing 29-14. He's going to go for it, which I think you have to here. He has struggled here. 0 for 2 on 4th downs, both times short yardage. Struggled even on 3rd and short. Rodgers let him down the flat pass. The running game gets correctly, not the best. Maybe off tackle to get behind those 6s. Linebacker Aaron Rodgers, because defense is a linebacker there. Gets incorrectly. Sent it to a 0. He's only a 4. No gain. It's Ryan Khalil again, failing to make the block. Wide side 4. It's hard. You don't have the blocking up front sometimes, that short yardage, to get the good reading. Even with no linebackers there, +3 or +0. 0 for 3. And it was 2-9 first down on Rodgers' call. He gets incorrectly. 0 for 3 on 4th and short. All inside the Seattle 42 in no man's land. That one at the 21 early 4th quarter. And we'll see if Dennis takes advantage or maybe turns the ball back over. That happened in one of the other playoff games I was calling. I got a little excited for a 4th down stop. The next play was like a fumble. One pass wrong. Will Fuller, there was a guy there. 5 on Rodgers on Wilson's card is incomplete. We don't long gain on Rodgers' card, but he's on the other team. So that wasn't going to happen. 13 units of long pass completion with the receiver. Reading will throw at least 18 units of deep, but that time it's incomplete. The 56 sitting back there, Malcolm Jenkins. 2nd and 10 Hawks. Dennis says, I'm not going to be shy, Tom. I'm not going to go too conservative. No Schottenheimer ball, no Marty ball over here for Dennis. Short pass, Will Fuller. Even double teaming elsewhere. 3 with 3 men. I hate getting that for some reason. If the guy's killed by 6, I'll give me the defender X. I had a chance, theoretically. I hate getting 3 in the 3 men on a short pass. And in that case, even more so with a decent receiver and a guy coming by 4. But it's back-to-back incomplete passes, 3rd down and 10. You might see them run Russell Wilson here. I think there's a strong chance of it. This is the type of place he does it. Nope, short pass Mike Davis. Stevens gets him pass. Davis is not being covered. And here comes, it looks probably Chandler Jones for a sack. It is D. Ford coming off the other side, beating Cordy Glenn, 1-16. And Dennis has to punt it. Going backwards 9 yards, not taking much time off the clock. And Dan Mike gets a very favorable field position here and have a chance for, to make it a 1-score game again. 44-yard punt's going to be down to about the 34-yard line. It's going to take a bounce, and there's going to be a seal bounce, but only about 2 or 3 yards. It's, yes, the animation is so wonderful in this game. It's a 12-yard bounce. Makes it a 56-yard net. Chiefs at their own 32. Off the right to Peterson, offensive onside guard, 5-0. Cameron Irvin couldn't make the block. Zeb says, see, I told you. You need that run blocking, guys. He's not telling you, Dan. He's telling everyone. You need the run blocking, he says. Cameron Irvin says, I could use some better run blocking. I'd make more money. 2nd and 10 for the Chiefs at their own 32. That was AP that time. Now CJ's in there. Left like a right to CJ. Defense calls run. 8 is no gain. Dennis has had some good guess right run calls here to hurt the Chiefs. Chiefs had some lousy luck in the 3rd and 4th down at short department. And Kenneth Dixon's dropped a couple of fumbles. And the Seahawks offense have been tough to stop. 3rd and 10. CJ Anderson on the short pass attempt from Aaron Rodgers. Rodgers threads the needle. 11 yards in a first down with Foreman there. Dennis stayed home, sat back in the zone. Trading some yardage for time here if he has to. There's no guarantee of the completion there, of course. 11:06 to go in the Super Bowl. Off tackle right, Adrian Peterson. Nobody there. Blocking back +1 and -1. The old blocking back bailout. Dennis trademark. Dennis Crowley loses 1 yard, 2nd and 11. Can the Chiefs do it again? We're in the 4th quarter of the SSFA postseason. They're down by multiple scores. They did it to me. They did it to Tony. Can they do it to Dennis Crowley? They're at their own 42. CJ Anderson in the game. Linebacker CJ. Defense guesses elsewhere. Shoki and CJ caught 16 yards across midfield. 8 on my side, 8 on your side. And the Chiefs make it to Seattle 42. 9:54 to go. It's a tall order. 2 touchdowns, 2-point conversion, and on and no. A couple of stops of Dennis Crowley Seahawks along the way. What have you with a tie game. 5 best left to CJ. Defense calls run. Linebackers a 4. 10 is incomplete. Rodgers called. He's been hurting the Chiefs in the Super Bowl with the flat pass inaccuracy. Not something you would have seen from him 5 or 6 years ago, that's for sure. 2nd down and 10. Left tackle right to CJ. Defense guesses pass. Offensive onside guard, 5-0. There's that 4 again. This time he makes the block. I can do it, Cameron Irving says. Every once in a while, he needs to bring in every play. Come on, Cameron. Don't just show up every now and then. It's a Super Bowl. 3rd and 5 for the Chiefs at the Seattle 37. 9 minutes to go in the game. Interesting spot here. Everyone knows Dan wants to break containment. Everyone knows it's 4-down territory. Dan is not the type to call run here with this lead. Don't want to run inside because Bobby Wagner's a 6. Short pass, Luke Stockard. Defense calls pass. 4 in there. Picked off 2 to 3. Incomplete on Rodgers' card. So 4th and 5. The Chiefs are going to go for it. 8:42 to go in the Super Bowl. This is if you're Saturday, boy, if I could just get this one play here. So many times that I'm coaching on defense, the other guy, defense or offense, right before the play, if the other guy has it, I'll be like, one time. Come on, one time. You're the one big stop. That's what Dennis needs right here. Gets this one stop, and he is so much closer to claiming his SSFA, second SSFA title and the first undefeated season. And we have a timeout by the Chiefs. Whoa, down 15 in the 4th quarter of the Super Bowl. 8:42 to go. He burns a timeout. Probably a misclick. I've seen Dan misclick timeouts before. I don't know what his formation was. If he didn't like the formation, wasn't paying enough attention. Wow. You need those timeouts. Then you also need to get the right play in on 4th and 5. So maybe you had the wrong formation or maybe it was a misclick. 4th and 5, 3 wide, 1 fullback, Luke Stocker. I think he was going 3 wide before, so maybe it was halfback. I don't know. But 8:42 to go. Dennis won't be shy about double teaming, I don't think. I don't think Dan's going to go up top. Fly pass to Amari Cooper. Defense double teaming elsewhere. Linebackers at 4, covered by 5. 7 is 6 yards and a first down from Rodgers to Cooper, who was so instrumental in the first quarter when the Chiefs were looking good early in this game. And it's a 1st and 10 for the Chiefs at the Seattle 31. 8:06 to go. 2 timeouts now only. Adrian Peterson is in there. 1 carry away from a touchdown at any time with that card. I mean, you got to get a big number. Short pass Antonio Gates being covered by 4. 3 men there. Dan needs a completion here. Could use one. And there it is. 12 yards from Rodgers to Gates. It's the Social Security connection there for 12 yards and a first down at the Seattle 19. They're a little older. 7:30 to go. So Chiefs are still in it. Short pass to Gates again. 4 minute zone there. Receiver gets right in the clutch reception from Antonio Gates for 14 yards at the first down. He reaches up with those big paws and yanks it away from the defense. 1st and goal at the 5 for the Chiefs. It's 29-14, folks. Don't you remember that Dan was losing to Tony? And then scored a touchdown, and then Tony was driving. Then Dan picked off the pass and ran back 70 yards for a touchdown to take control of the game late in the 4th quarter and make it to the Super Bowl. It's a similar situation. Short pass wrong. Adrian Peterson. Defense calls run. Incomplete on the defense's card on a 3 with 3 men or 4 men. Dan gets a touchdown here. If Dan gets a touchdown here, there is pressure on Dennis. Interesting if Dan goes for 2 here or goes for 1. Probably go for 1 and keep the pressure on Dennis. Although you could say, well, you need the 2 sooner or later. Let me find out right now if I need it, because I don't need it. Then I still need 2 more scores. It's a different game. Short Cameron Brate. Defense gets past, shows the blitz, and down goes Rodgers. Matt Judon, who's had a good postseason for these Hawks, I feel like he's had at least 1 sack in each of the previous 2 games, comes around the end, beats Dwayne Brown, 1-32 sack. 13 is the sack. It is an 8-yard loss, 3rd and goal for the 13 for the Chiefs. And they need a touchdown. There's 6:18 to go. We don't want Brandon McManus out there. 3 wide, 1 fullback. Possible flat pass to get it closer for 4th and goal? Probably not, because you do have the dump off outside the 10. You don't have it inside the 10. Dump off can be friend or foe in a situation like this. And Aaron Rodgers even gets the pass for the 3 wide. Linebacker zone, -5 or +6. Then gets Leighton Vander Esch, who's a 5, and Leighton is Leighton to the party with a white die 6 there. So he gets 6 yards. And it's 4th and goal from the 7. Chiefs got to go for it. 29-17 doesn't do you a lot of good. Unless you're, playing the over or something. You don't want to do that. Pete Rose, you don't do it to your own team. 4th and goal from the 7. 5:42 to go. Pete did not bet against his own team. I'm just, He was betting on the games that he was managing and involved in. 4th and goal from the 7. But he was betting on his team, so don't worry, Pete. 4th and goal from the 7. Yeah, this is really it, right? I mean, you never know. There's turnovers and crazy stuff that can happen, but full house formation on 4th and goal from the 7, huh? It's an interesting call. Defense shows blitz, 4-3 blitz. I think he's going to pass it here. He has to pass it here, right? Dennis might plug the outsides in case Rogers goes right in. Dixon's got off tackle short gains, as does CJ. Dennis got to call pass. He says, you know, if you get the run, you get the run. And we're right to Rogers. Linebacker there. Mike, go to your card. Gets on the defense's card. Linebacker in zone 0, 4 yards. It's Leighton Vander Esch there. Tackles Rogers after only a 4-yard pickup. And the Chiefs fail on another 4th down. That one was 4th and goal from the 7, though. Would have been a touchdown the pass if he avoided the sack. It was a Dia on the black dice. We don't know. And the Seahawks take over 1st and 10 for their own 3. Don't throw a flat pass to a guy covered by 6. I did that in the summer sprint game, lost 4 yards and gave up a safety. Off tackle right to Mike Davis. Nose tackle +4, +9. 4 yards for with Quan Short making the tackle. 4:48 to go. Hawks have 29-14. And that Chief comeback attempt is looking less and less likely. Davis only 6 carries, 30 yards. Chiefs have had the ball a lot this half. No points to show for it. It's not going right to Mike Davis. Defense calls run. Offensive onside end. Eric Ebron, speaking of offensive onside end, is blocking his offensive with that 0. And it's the 3rd and 6 for the Hawks. Mike Davis in there again. I think Dennis will. Most guys would run it here, but you know, Dennis, you just never know what he's going to do, right? Part of his greatness is his unpredictability. Long pass, Will Fuller. Defense gets the pass. Go by 4. Nobody's there. Must run on Russell's gone for 13 yards in the first down. The clutch must run for Russell Wilson. You can see him pumping the fist or shaking the fist, whatever they call that stupid little thing he does. And it's a first down for the Hawks up at their own 20. 29-14. Off tackle right, Mike Davis. Dreaded 5, -1. These backs are minimum fumble numbers. We're down to 3 minutes to go in the Super Bowl. It's maybe an hour since kickoff at most. 19-0. Short pass to Eric Ebron. 4 men there. Haven't we seen enough short passing in these spots for a while? We strat coaches sometimes never learn our lessons, but Dennis says, hey, I'm in good shape. Don't worry about it. I got Russell. He's not going to let me down. 1st and 10. I was going to say something about the Super Bowl against the Patriots, but probably would have been inappropriate at this time. 1st and 10 for the Seahawks at their own 31. It's like a right to Mike Davis. Linebacker zone -1 to +4. That man is only he's a 4. 0-4 Emmanuel Lamer. 2-minute warning. 29-14. We've only had 3 points scored the second half. It was 26-14 at halftime. Blocking back, halfback, pistol. This is time. Remember last year when 16-0 and lost the first round? Let me show you how it's done. 16-0, on the way to 19-0. Offensive onside end. Eric Ebron can't do anything about it. Davis 10 for 33. Chiefs use their second timeout. 3rd and 6 for Seattle, their own 35. First down wins the game. You can run the ball here. Make Kansas City use the timeout. Maybe still get your first down. Maybe run Russell. Should pass Mike Davis, 3 men there. Dump off is complete. 6 yards at a first down. That is going to do it. Perfection. You're looking at perfection, folks. The Seattle Seahawks, in one of the most competitive leagues around, have not gone 16-0, not gone 17-0, have gone 19-0, 16-0 regular season, 3-0 postseason. Russell Wilson taking a knee. There it is. Dennis Crowley, who else? He's the first man to go undefeated in Swamifa SSFA with a 19-0 season, 16-0 regular season, 3-0 postseason. Never been done in the NFL. Dennis may have done it in SAMSA. I'm not certain. Dennis saying the 4th downs were the difference. Each team going over 400 yards. Dennis saying he was very lucky that David all the way did those. A lot of them were guessed wrong calls. We'll open up the stream for anyone else who wants to talk. And Nathan in here. What's up, Nathan?
How's it going?
Like, don't bring me without telling me. I was reading a book. What are you doing there?
Oh, I was looking at my phone.
Oh, okay.
I won't read a
book. There you go. Dennis does it. 19-0, huh? No surprise.
Pretty good in a league with injuries, especially.
That's right. And everyone being average.
Yeah.
And the team that I don't think anyone would look at and be like, oh, yeah, this team is overwhelming. This team is going to just roll over people.
It's just a really good offense. The defense definitely had holes in it.
Yeah, and you do want to run the offense, of course, too.
Yeah.
Franco did a great job for him. First Super Bowl win at SSFA for Russ, he says. Okay, for Russ. But I guess the team had won a Super Bowl previously. I don't know who the quarterback was back then. Dennis doesn't remember either. A great job by Dan. You get there, you feel like you got to change. You get there. He's up 7-0 in the first quarter. He's got the ball at like Dennis' 19-yard line. It's like, oh man, I can go 14-0 here. You're feeling pretty good, and then bang, fumble for Dixon, and it was all Seahawks until the Chiefs came back with a touchdown in the last 2 minutes.
Yeah, there's a lot of bombs.
The second half was interesting because there was a lot going. Say what?
There was a lot of bombs early on that were hitting, and then it just seemed like it died off.
Yeah, but the second half, interesting because like there was a lot of big plays seemed to be out. I mean, a lot of exciting moments seemed to happen, but there's only 3 points ultimately scored. So then it says, you look at it does show you how we should relish these chances. So rare to meet in the Super Bowl. Dennis plays everybody in the Super Bowl, though. What are you talking about?
I was going to say.
He's always in the Super Bowl.
If he wins next week in Spring Fever, I'll be playing him in the Super Bowl for like the 3rd time.
There you go. Well, yeah, Dan was saying it's his 2nd Super Bowl against Dennis in the universe of leagues that they were in together. They had played in a snarl Super Bowl back in the day. This offense just got going once they recovered that fumble from the Dixon that maybe put them down 10-0 or 14-0. After that, Dennis' offense just got going. Frank Gore was killing Dan up the middle, and Dan wasn't really respecting it, really. And Frank Gore said, okay, I'll take the odds. Thank you very much. Not that Dennis cares, but who would be the Super Bowl MVP? Let's see. He always wants to give it to Russell. 15-26, 223 for Russell. No touchdowns, no interceptions. Frank Gore, 14 carries, 141 yards, and 2 touchdowns. He has to be your Super Bowl MVP, I think, easily. Right, Nathan?
Who's that, Gore? Oh.
Yes.
Yeah, he was killing them, especially in the first half.
14 carries, 141 yards, 2 touchdowns. And Russell was only 15-26, 223. No touchdowns, no interceptions. Eric Ebron, 7 catches, 106 yards. So Frank Gore, they're going to have to get it. We don't really give those out, but just saying. See if Dennis comes on here. Maybe he's on. I'm ignoring him. There he is. I just added his empty room to the stream. Dennis, you there?
He's off walking around. What, do you got, his car? He's playing in the car?
It looks like. He's in the car now. There he is.
Hey, can you hear me?
I can hear you, yes. Dennis,
I'm up here.
Dennis, don't stream and
drive.
drive.
While you were driving?
Hey, I'm here now.
Yeah, Nathan wants to know if you're playing him while you were driving.
Hold on, let me move over.
Congratulations, Dennis.
Sorry, this internet is not the best. Thank you. I came out here to the car to see if I could get a better signal. So
okay, well,
that was a good game.
Absolutely, it was a fascinating game. Good. So what are you gonna say? Riveting.
There were so many of those.
You're not coming in that well. Your internet was better in the house. So, Dennis, we can't hear you, Dennis. You can't hear him, right, Nathan?
No.
Yeah, Dennis, we can't hear you. Let me mute everything. Let me Slack him. Oh, he's playing on checking his Slack. Dennis, we can't hear you at all. Okay.
Oh, there
now he's there. Now he's wandering the great outdoors.
This should be better.
There we go.
Let me move over here real quick.
Sure. This is truly a mobile broadcast. No mask on in California, Dennis. Is that mandated by Governor Newsom?
It is. I was in my house though, or I was in a vacation house.
Nathan, we have an extortion opportunity here. We could send these clips to Governor Newsom's office. Perhaps identify the local authorities. Maybe perhaps we could come to an agreement, extract some traffics.
We can't rap on him if he's wearing a Dodgers shirt.
Are you gonna make me go back and get? I have a Seahawks mask. I can go get it.
No, please, no, God, no.
Keep the Dodgers shirt on. That's fine.
My kids got it for me for Father's Day.
Okay.
Who's still up? Oh. So,
okay. Oh boy, Michael Reeves. Dennis, Michael Reeves.
I found a good spot. Here's the laundry room. So.
There we go. Excellent acoustics.
So anyway, like I was saying, there were so many of those roles where I wasn't called right, but like he needed a block, he didn't get it. He landed on Aaron Rodgers 5 or 10 incomplete, a guess wrong, or just lucky rolls, fortunate rolls. So that played a big part of it, I think.
And that did play a big part. We have Dan Warren on also on the end of the stream. We have the True Hollywood Squares situation now. Hey, Dan.
What's up, Dan?
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
We just got Dennis on. He came on 2 minutes ago, but he had to wander around the neighborhood until he found a good internet connection. Now he's back indoors. Is that your laundry room, Dennis, or is it the neighbor's house?
Well, no, this is I'm in Mammoth Lakes at this vacation spot my sister-in-law has. So I'm up here with the boys, and that's why I didn't want to play during the evening because the kids are up and around. But we stay up late playing games, and we go fishing, hiking, and then they're worn out, so they sleep till like.
Can I assume that those lakes are fairly sizable?
Oh yeah.
Mammoth Lakes. Okay, just wondering.
So there's a ton of lakes up here, Lake George, Lake Mary. So you just lots of trout, lots of hiking, lots of fishing.
So Dan, it just came on, and he was talking first away that he said that felt to get lucky with the fourth down calls. He was saying that he did not have the right play call, but he got the right roll.
Yeah, I mean, that happens. It was a bit frustrating because I think two of those incidents, they're 3rd and 1, couldn't pick up that yard. And, obviously there's a big difference between 3rd and 1, 4th and 1. And then I think one of the other times I was at 2nd and 1 after a Dixon 9-yard run and 3 straight plays. I just couldn't grab that yard. And, it happens. I mean,
sure.
If you can walk away, knowing that you made, a good call that could have come up, then you got to walk away and just say, yeah, that happens. And, and on the flip side, it was, it gets frustrating, Tom, Nathan, everybody listening, it gets frustrating. You can't get that 1 yard, and then, you're making run calls because, Dennis runs well and he's nailing 8 rolls and gets right calls on his card. It happens. You got to make the calls and you get the rolls. And like I said in the text box, I mean, it didn't feel like it didn't feel like it was close, but I kept looking up, going, 2 scores, man. And
yeah, sure.
I was down there at the end, down 2 scores, down 15, and had a shot to punch it in the end zone with plenty of time to get the ball back and go down. And when I'd get frustrated, I'd look up at the scoreboard and go, this can be done. So just keep plugging.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I think it was 29.
My foolish 2-point conversion tries. That's why it wasn't a 3-score game. So,
first time you did that, I was like, "Fuck."
There is some commentary regarding that in the broadcast, Dennis, which you might hear early on. We'll see. So, of course, you just went 19-0, so you could disregard that commentary. Right?
Well,
so
I think part of that. I mean, part of those things where you don't get the roll on the block, that's part of your team building. Like, Nathan's on here too. Like, Nathan, you have those last minute trades that you do to get that, upgrade your guard spot to a 5, give up that 3rd round pick for a 1-year 6'5" center or something like that. I mean, those are the decisions you make when you're going to build a championship team or a playoff team. You don't know if you're going to make a deep run. And so it's kind of cool in a way that those came up, but a lot of times you're thinking, oh, those guard rolls, they never come up. What is the difference between a +7 and a +2? But in a big game, those little things can make a big difference.
I'll give you one. I noticed that you made the switch, but I ran the play anyway because I was looking on my card. But you switched out your 4 defensive end for a 5 defensive end on a couple plays, and I think I hit that 2 roll on the defensive card, and instead of 37 yards, it was 11 yards, just because you switched that 1 rating that time.
Yeah.
47 yards, 11 to 47.
47. Yeah. I know. I noticed it. Trust me. Nice call.
So, Dennis, I don't know all your personnel moves here 6 months later. Who were some of the guys that you traded for late in the trading process who made a big play or whatever, as you were alluding to earlier?
Well, one of them's Mario Addison, for that 0-10 pass rush. That's the kind of, didn't really, the matchup coming in here, I was worried a little bit about Dan's, his pass rush against my guys, and my good pass rushers were always facing his best pass blockers. So that that was one of the guys. Getting Danico Autry, getting that 10 defensive tackle. There was one sack chance, I think, in this game, but I wouldn't have gotten to this game without Danico Autry and his pass rush earlier.
Sure.
What else? Cordy Glenn. I traded for Cordy Glenn, who was a 4.7. That made a difference. You have a 7 pass blocker. I had a 7 at both tackles in the center. So, that's another guy that you wind up giving a pickup for, even though his future may not look that bright, but he's looking decent now.
Sure.
Michael Schofield.
I thought you were saying that there was some specific ratings that came up here in the Super Bowl, and you like, oh yeah, I picked up that guy. But that's not. You're just talking more in general, the idea of putting pieces together,
right.
And then hopefully you get where you want to be.
Yeah, and again, I think both teams had really good offenses. Both of us moved the ball well against the team.
The great outdoors. The great outdoors was the move, Dennis. There we go.
Fumbles.
We lost you for a minute.
Joseph and.
There was some noise outside, so I went back in. But I got to keep an eye on my boys, make sure that they don't wake up and wonder where I am. So, but yeah.
Nathan, what are you saying, Nathan?
Oh, I was saying he added Joseph, the 5 corner, and Doug Baldwin. And Baldwin he got pretty cheap. And that guy was huge in the playoffs from what I saw.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, it's not just this one game. It's the whole playoff run. But I would say, the 5 cornerback, Baldwin, the Danico Autry, the pass rushing guys, all those guys, it all adds up. But, I mean, there's other ways to build. You can build through the draft too. But I guess the point is that in this game, maybe there wasn't a particular role that I remember that made a difference because the guy I traded for. Because once I trade for a guy, I kind of forget about how I got him. They're on my team. I just use them the way I.
You're the ultimate turn the page guy. That's for sure. You did go 19-0 in Samps though, didn't you?
Yes.
Once or twice?
Well, I would have been twice, except you beat me in the Super Bowl.
Well, I didn't say 18-1. I said 19-0. You went 19-0 once or twice?
Just once.
Okay. So now, being the first guy to go 19-0, so me for SSFA, was that something? When did you? Now I know how you are. During the regular season, you and I, when you were 8-0, you're like, I don't see the team going 16-0. When you've had teams that were much stronger, you've talked more about winning a championship or whatever earlier in the season. Okay. So when did you really start thinking about maybe going 19-0?
Midway through the second half of this game. And I really didn't. I mean, you can't really focus on the big thing, like, oh my God, I'm going to go 19-0. Wow, woohoo. My thing was like my four Super Bowl losses in a row. Russell Wilson, he's being labeled in the SSFA press as a loser, a choker. He can't get the job done. He can't finish the deal. So I had to come through in this last one. And believe me, this game could have gone the other way. I could have easily lost this game, but and I would still be happy with the job I did and the team that I built. But being able to finish it off and finally get that monkey off our back like Steve Young, it's nice. It was really good.
So these leagues, so me for SSA particularly, we have such a rich history, and it's pretty well chronicled, with the year-by-year files, and Ed's webpage has got almost everything on there you could ever want to look up. So you play in so many leagues, like 13 or whatever leagues. Having lost 4 straight Super Bowls in this particular league, was that actually on your mind, or because you play in so many leagues and win so many titles, is it just something you didn't really think about? You said you did think about it. Well, did you really think about it a lot?
Well, I did. I think that's, how many chances do you get to go to the Super Bowl? Now, I'll be honest. A couple of those teams that I made a Super Bowl run with were not like top teams. They were not like 12-4, 14-2 teams. They were like 9-7, 10-6, scraping the playoff type teams.
9-7 last year. You were 8-7 last year. You had to win your final game. I remember talking about that.
Yeah. So I did not expect a Super Bowl run last year, but that does weigh on you a little bit as a coach. You don't want to be, am I doing something wrong? Am I getting nervous? Am I making too big of a deal out of it? Because NFL players talk about it all the time, or professional sports players. You just got to treat it like another game. You just got to go with it. And that's what I try to really do this time, is just treat it like another game. And then Dan goes and throws that 90-yard or 80-yard touchdown pass. And I'm like, oh my God, what's going on here? And then driving.
There was obviously a lot of
pressure on me to go up 14-0 if it wasn't for that Dixon fumble.
Yeah, there was a lot of big spots in this game, a lot of big moments in this game. The first one, I think, was that Dixon turnover. Dan's up 7-0. He's got the ball at the 19-yard line. It's the first quarter. I think anyone who plays the game is like, boy, if I could go up 14-0 here, it's like, look, I'm playing Dennis, so it's not like, I won a 14-0 game over in the first quarter, but you feel good, like, oh, great. At least I got that on the board here. Did that cross your mind? Like, boy, I got a chance to go up 14-0. And how crestfallen were you when Dixon coughed it up?
Yeah, I was after I hit that second Cooper long pass, I was like, oh my God, man, if I can go up 14-0 here, this would be sweet. And at various times during the season on a hunch, when I get down that deep, it's one of those struggles because Dixon's got such a good guess wrong card. I brought in, Peterson before thinking about the turnovers, but at the same time, it's a trade-off. Sometimes you're going to fumble. Sometimes you're going to get good runs. And I just had so many good hits all year, 9-yard gains, short gains with Dixon, that I felt if I was going to win this game, I had to take that chance and keep him in the backfield and either hit one of those short gains or use them to pull a run call and hit a pass. So, yeah, I mean, I was disappointed, but it's just one of those things you expect with Dixon. I mean, some people don't like having running backs like that on your team, but I wouldn't have been here if it wasn't for that card this year. There's no doubt.
Yeah, it's like having a quarterback who throws a good card for completions, but throws a few more picks than you like. You're like, well, what am I going to do? I got to live with it every now and then. And really, it's funny with those running backs because we say like a bad fumble number for a modern running back. It's a bad fumble number. But on any one given play, you're like, well, if he guesses wrong, it's only like a 1 in
40.
a 1 in 30 chance I'm going to fumble, then I might recover. So it's one of those things that it's so no one.
Yeah, that second fumble was 30. That second fumble was 30, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
I mean, 30 out of 1,000. I mean, come on.
Inside the 10, it's not even that high because if he hits the end zone, he can't fumble.
Yeah,
so you got a lot of good runs on there.
Yep. So I mean, I was completely good with that, and it's funny when you said modern era. I mean, I just finished a summer sprint season where Earl Campbell put the ball on the ground, I think, 14 times. I mean, not something you expect.
Yeah, but you're in those retro leagues. You're happy if you got a guy with a 30 fumble.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's one of the good ones.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
So,
yeah, absolutely.
And I think that second fumble was 30 chance, and I think it was an 11. So I mean, Jesus,
15, I think it was.
Yeah, I would have fumbled with anybody probably on that. So
yeah, Yeah, I mean, I think any of us had a card like that Dixon card, we'd use them a lot. That's for sure. So no.
One quick thing on that Dixon card, Dan. Did you hit a short game today? That's another lucky thing. I think you hit +9 at times.
I hit a lot of 9s, but I don't
nines.
think I hit. Yeah, you're right. I don't think I hit a short game.
And he's got a short game right and wrong. So
10 units, 7 to 9.
Yeah,
you can hit a couple of dreaded 5s.
I'll tell you, kind of a tangent on this, but I was talking to Jay a while ago, and we talk about all these trades and team building and all that, and these past couple of years, I mean, this whole team is littered with people from Nathan and Jay, and I mean Dixon, C.J. Anderson, Adrian Peterson, Jeff Heath, Jonathan Joe. I mean, Malcolm Jenkins. I mean, this team is built of 2 huge trades, one with Nathan and one with Jay. And I'll tell you, looking back on this, a semis and a Super Bowl berth. I mean, those trades were absolutely not even a question worth it.
Absolutely. Now, was it an SSFA or some MIFA that a couple of years ago? I remember you played a close playoff game with Ed that you lost. It was close in the fourth
SSFA,
quarter.
Yeah. I was down, and I took a lead late, and he scored on his last drive, and I lost that. Yeah, that was. So
your team has had like an old fashioned like NFL progression. You made the playoffs, lost, made the playoffs, made the semifinals. Now you made the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but I'll be like the Cleveland Cavaliers in the NBA and never actually make it there. So.
Well, you get LeBron to come back in 5 years or something. Yeah. So. But yeah, no, it's been an excellent run for your team those 2 years also. And it was a great playoffs. I mean, every step of the way. The game against Tony is one of the classic games, and that was interesting. There was so much on the line in that game. Tony was going for 3 straight titles, unprecedented. I don't think Jay won 3 straight. Did he win 3 out of 4, something like that? No, Jay won 3. I don't think they're all straight though. Dennis disappears. Mammoth Lakes, Dennis, come back.
Oh, I'm here. I'm gonna go run and check on my boys while you talk to Dan. I'll be right back.
Pick his nose. He doesn't want to show it. I mean, to go back to this game today about the 4th downs and the 1 yard. I mean, seriously, you can talk about those rolls all you want, but I'm not even here if it wasn't for that short pass, wrong interception, return for a touchdown. So you gotta take it and give it as it goes. And funny, Dennis is off. I mean, when I prepared for this game, I played Dennis earlier in the year, but I think it was the first or second game of the year and lost. And when I looked at your team, I went, Jesus Christ, how the hell are you game plan for this? And then looked at Tony's and said, Jesus, how do you game plan for this? I mean, the 2 teams I played before in the playoffs were Dennis will probably admit it, were better on paper than his team.
The personnel. I mean, everyone loved my personnel, my defense. We know what Tony's done. Yeah, and Dennis, I talked about it. Like I said earlier in the show, I think before you came on, Dennis, Dan. Dennis and I were talking when he was 8-0 during the season, and he was like, I don't see this team going 16-0. Dan was just talking about Dennis that, on Dan's playoff run, he played my team with all the 6s and Carl McCaffrey. He played Tony's team with the defensive tackle 6s and Andrew Luck and this and that. And then he played your team. He said, it was hard to game plan against me, hard to game plan against Tony. But personnel-wise, he felt like you actually had the weakest personnel of the 3 teams. I'd have to look over Tony's team again, but I think a lot of people would probably agree with that. Certainly, if my personnel, people would take use of your personnel, except of course for the quarterback, Dennis. Yeah,
I don't disagree with that. I think the fours at safety is really one of the weakest spots on the team, and the lack of pass rush unless I go to my my subs package. So I agree.
Yeah, I mean, you look at your defense as opposed to Dale's. I mean, Tony's and Tom's. I mean, when you sit down, you're like, okay, right flat 4, left D tackle 4, 4 strong safety, and 4 free safety, and limited pass rush for what's normal for you. There's a game plan there. With the others, I mean, it's guess right, guess wrong, and hope you get some rolls.
No sixes in coverage. No sixes in coverage in terms of covering a guy. Tony had the corner sixes. I had a bunch of sixes running around. So, yeah, interesting. But, yeah, a tremendous job, Dennis.
You want to know what's funny?
Yes, what's funny?
Speaking about game, I had come into this game with an idea of, well, because I didn't want to get so I have my point. If I get down, if I get like where I can't move the ball, I'm going to go 3 wide, and hopefully D Ford will stay home. And even if he does come, he's I got the 3 main guys that I have pass blocking are going to be facing weaker pass things. And then Frank Gore just started hitting short gain after short gain, 19 up the middle. So I was like, okay, I'm saying forget about the 3 wide. I'm just going to keep pounding Frank the tank. So
yeah,
you can have a plan going into the game, but once you start, as soon as you start playing, things just get mixed up and you do whatever's working.
Dennis does ride the hot hand, and you're very flexible as one of your strengths in your coaching among all the other strengths. But yeah, that first half, let's talk about Frank Gore in the first half. Dan, like a lot of us will do what Dan was trying to do. He's got the safety 6. If you're playing a 3-4, he's bringing the safety up, splitting out the inside linebackers, calling run. But when he did that, Dennis was hitting that 7 and 8 on the defense's card. There's a couple of inside linebacker blitzes early in the game. Dennis popped 7 or 8 of the defense's card. And then when Dan would call a pass, Dennis would have 7 on his card for a short gain. And Gore was pretty much unstoppable. Did you, at any point in there, Dan, did you think about, boy, I should try to commit more to the run? It was just that thing where, look, it's Strat, it's Dennis. He's going to mix it up. I don't want this to be the play where, I go up for the run and he does something crazy. You know what I'm saying?
That's, well, I thought I called run enough, first off. But second, you hit the nail on the head, Tom. It's like, Dennis, I've played him a ton, as we all have, and he just sets you up. So I had a core set of calls, and you can't, he's going to throw long to use check once or twice, but you can't really focus on it. So my focus was Ebron and Fuller, and then guess run enough and hopefully get him on his guess right column. So that was kind of the plan. And I don't think I doubled Ebron enough because he I don't know what his final stats were, but I kind of laid off him when I thought I was going to focus on him a little bit more. I doubled use check just a couple times. I think I hit one.
Yeah, one really good one.
But I was concerned. My game plan was Fuller and Gore. It really was.
That one juice check double team that you hit, that was a long gain. If you didn't double him.
Struck it, I thought. No.
Oh no, that was a short. I think it was a defender.
It was on Snake Eyes, defender X or long gain on 2, right? Or is it?
No, because I had a free safety. It went to 4 men in zone.
Okay. So if you didn't double team, it would have been 3 men. Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. You're right, Dennis. I was just focusing on the outcome of the defender X. Okay, it was probably on the Snake Eyes. Probably right. Yeah.
I didn't think about that either. So.
Well, it's probably hard for you, Dan, to say, well, I'm going to start double teaming Eric Ebron because Dennis took quite a few shots and successfully with Will Fuller earlier in the game. I don't know if you watched both Dennis's earlier playoff games or not, but Dennis, you had really not thrown the long pass much at all, I don't think, in those first 2 playoff games. But then, this game, you come out doing it a lot more. Was that a reaction to Dan? Like early on, Dan was playing the run pretty heavy. And then you, I think, threw that long pass and got a long game for 62 yards. And after that, when Dan would call run, he wouldn't bring the linebackers up as much. Was you going bomb in the first quarter, the first half, a little bit of reaction to the way Dan was doing it? Or did you come into the game saying, look, Fuller's covered by 4. It's Will Fuller. I'm going to take some shots. Or it was just all feel for you in the moment?
A little bit of the feel and reaction, because I know Dan is a great double teamer, and I knew he was going to lock down Fuller a lot. So I wasn't really going, I'm going to go to Fuller. He's my main connection. But once you start calling run, and when Frank was hitting like that, you got to call run. Then I say, okay, there's some opportunities there, whether it's short or long, to get on his receiver card and get a big game. So
there's one thing I want to ask you about coaching. A couple of times we talked about the game Ebron had. A couple of times you got into a 2nd and 3 or 4, and I noticed that's when you were throwing your short passes to Eric Ebron, right? And a lot of them happened to be wrong. What was that a situation where, I've broken containment, I've got the good pass blocking, I'm probably not going to get sacked anyway. That situation, guys might be more afraid of Fuller or a flat pass or a run with Gore. They're not likely to double team Ebron. He might flood the flats. Were you consciously going short there, thinking you need a 3 men defended by a 4?
I was based on our earlier game. Dan's great at flooding the flats too. So in those 3rd down situations, it's a coin flip if you're going to throw into 2-minute zone.
Well, I was talking second and 3 and 4. I noticed you threw quite a few short passes to Ebron.
Same thing. He would when he's either double teaming Ebron and Fuller, Ebron with a linebacker, typically, or he's flooding the flats, calling run. So there was a lot of different things that I was expecting Dan to do, and he mixed it up really well too. But
sure.
When he did lay off Ebron, okay, I'm going to the guy who has double team completions. I'm going to the guy who has a max short card.
Completion.
I prefer a short pass to a flat pass because Russ's short pass column is better than his flat pass column. Plus, you wind up getting the dump offs with my 7 tackles in center. Pass block,
and you can still count on the must runs on the right, which amplifies that column significantly.
So I always like with this team, I always prefer a short pass to a flat pass. But you can't ignore the flats either, because then Dan will let all hell break loose and unleash the dogs and blitz every time. So you got to do a little bit of everything. I wanted to try to make him think about sending D Ford, and then once I saw that he was on juice check. Okay, I want to make sure that he respects the flats a little bit. And then once that was established, then I can go short and run.
I think both you guys coached a really good game. I think both teams had strengths. Both teams had flaws as well. I think when we talked about the short yardage situations, that's one of the flaws for Dan's team came out. Not his fault. I mean, you guys who go for the year, do what you can for the year, but you're not going to get everything. As you always say, you can't have everything. And Dan had some weakness with interior run blocking. Rodgers, unfortunately, doesn't have the flat pass guard he's had a few years ago. And for him, it was really bad luck that those things came up in the big spots. I think Ryan Khalil missed at least 2 center blocks on those 3rd and 4th down situations. Rodgers was missing some flat passes there. So it's like the teams all have flaws, and like you do a good job covering them. Otherwise, they wouldn't have been here in the first place. And then you get in a big spot, and all of a sudden a couple of them come out, and you're like, this sucks.
Yeah, the difference in the game really was the turnovers. And by turnovers
in the short yardage. Yeah,
the
good.
4th downs, yeah. So
well, yeah, you had the 2 fumbles. You did not turn the ball over, right, Dennis?
Yeah, that's the way this team was built. Both Core and Davis are minimum fumble guys.
So you had minus 2 turnovers. You had, like, if you forget about the 4th and goal from the 7, before that you had like 0 for 3 or 4 on 3rd and 4th and short, and then you still have a chance. He was down. I was saying the broadcast, it was like 29-15, or 29-14, whatever it was. Dan was saying, like 9 minutes to go or something, and he's down there inside the 20. He's like, boy, I think he scored double digit points in the 4th quarter against both me and Tony to come back and win. It was a little bit of deja vu. It's like if he does it here, it's like all of a sudden it's a 1-score game, pressure on Dennis. But that's not the way it worked out. He was stopped there, and that really was a big difference. There's so many plays for the late 3rd quarter until that stop with about 8 minutes left or 9 minutes left, whatever it was. I think it was 9.5 minutes left. So many plays there where you felt like if Dan could just get this in now, then we'll see what happens. Then the pressure's on Dennis. He's only up by 1 score. Of course, Dennis played in so many of these games. I don't even know if he feels the pressure. I think you feel the adrenaline, Dennis, of the tense situation, not the pressure. I think you feel the adrenaline and you get that laser focus going. I've seen the expression on your face sometimes.
Sharks with laser beams.
That's right. Yes. So, but it was a great game. It was a good game. The call. Congratulations to both you guys. Dan, you gotta be. You're welcome, Dan. Dan, you gotta be happy if you look at the season in totality to say, I had the Rodgers call. Wasn't that great flat? I benched the guy a couple of games. I had the running backs who were a little limited. Maybe not always the best right. The defense had some strengths, but wasn't like all world. You're 11-5. You beat me in the playoffs. You beat Tony in the playoffs. You play a competitive Super Bowl with Dennis. You had some chances to get back in it in the second half. I mean, that's a pretty satisfying season in totality, no?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and you know, one final note on this game, when he got to 26 points, I was like, oh Jesus Christ, things are starting to fall apart. And then I know Dennis, and we, you know, you have those forum posts about, you know, I was up X amount of points and when do you lay off and what's sportsmanship, and it started going through my head. I'm like, I know I scored a bunch of points against Tom at the end to win. I know I scored a bunch of points against Tony to win at the end. I'm like, if Dennis has the chance to hang a 50 burger on me, he's going to do it to make sure that none of this happens. So I said, just friggin' stop the bleeding and try and make it a close game.
Yeah, you got that big touchdown right before the half. That made a big difference. Good,
oh,
Dennis.
that was huge. That was huge when that because before on that drive, that's what I was thinking. I said, I'm going to lose. And Dennis, you know, he played in a million of these things. The only other time I played him in a Super Bowl, he did beat me, I think, 55-14 with Russell Wilson. It's in an old snarled Patriots Seahawks game, and it just everything fell apart, and I had visions of that all over again.
But that wasn't personal, Dan. That was because of what happened between the Patriots and Seahawks in the NFL Super Bowl. Right?
No, I think we played before. I think this was like Jesus. I mean, I think this might have been. Oh yeah, this was like. I think this was good 8-9 years ago. I think.
Yeah, 2015.
Maybe before that game. Okay.
Yeah.
What I was going to say is that the 19-0 thing, it may not have happened if it wasn't for Dan. And I'll tell you why. Because if I had to face your team or Tony's team or some other team like, you know, Ed, who's just a great coach and has my number, you know, if I would have had to face one of those guys, maybe I'm not sitting here on a post-game Super Bowl victory. Because
you can't say that. Dan beat us both fair and square. He was the guy.
No, but what I'm saying is that he helped me by taking out the strong teams, the stronger teams, right?
You know,
he knocked out the big bullies in the Jets and the Vikings, the two-time repeat. You know, I'm saying that when you look at these playoff runs and your championships, you could easily say, and this goes in NFL and STRAT too, if this guy wouldn't have won this one game in the early rounds, it would have come out totally different. So that's all I'm saying. I've
had these talks in the NFL. I know what you're talking about. Well, they won this game, they won that game, you know. But I don't know. I don't know. I mean, Dan's got a good team, did a really good job. He coached well the whole postseason and got there, and he was a higher seed than me. He was 4 seed. I was 5 seed.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying
one game behind
it doesn't
Tony.
matter about it's. Sometimes it's about the coaching matchups, like you know, taking away the possibility of having to play Ed or Jay, somebody that you know that guy's got my number, or just taking out a team that may just have matchups against you that
better matchup you feel like.
Yeah. So I'm just saying thank you, Dan. You did great. Thank you for getting here.
I understand totally what he means. It goes back to what I was talking about, what you can attack on his team, and like Tom, you said we both had weaknesses, and there was a show, I forgot what after game, but Nathan and Dennis were talking about it, and I said some wise ass post about, because they were talking as if, you know, they just mentioned hypothetically what the Final Four team could look like after Nathan won, I think, in a game.
Right.
And I typed in, I'm like, oh, so Tom's going to win this game, is he? You know, and they were like, no, we didn't say that. And that's the point, though. And they both said, no offense, but I'd rather play you than Tom because of Tom's roster. And I agree.
Yeah,
I would have rather played this game with your roster and Tony's roster than mine. Absolutely.
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you mean. Objectively, anybody would look at my roster and taken it. You know what I'm saying? So, which is another feather in your cap for getting the W. But I think you can call me a bully, Dennis. I haven't won a playoff game in me for SFA in many years now. You know, I'm getting pushed around. I'm the little kid on the sandbox now. Yeah, I got to put on my big boy pants.
You're going to unleash some pain one of these years, I'm sure.
Well, I don't know. This might have been the year I would have thought, but who knows? So
I got Josh Gordon, Jeff Heath, and Ken Dixon available if you want them, Tom.
I'm starting to feel like John Gruden about Derek Carr. I don't know, that guy. You can't get.
By the way, Nathan, Jeff Heath's number is going to be retired in the Kansas City Chiefs SSFA Wall of Fame. So thanks for that trade with that interception return.
I
like Heath. He's fast.
He is fast. I won $20 off of Dennis. $25, Dennis.
When you were playing Tom, I was thinking of that Oakland Raiders Monday night game where he smoked him on the 1 yard line.
Yeah.
End of the game.
That's right. I forgot about that too. Hey, all right, guys, I got to jump in.
All right, Dan.
Here, so
I like the Jayhawk hat.
Take Dennis for some of us there, buddy.
Hey, I'll do it. Thanks so much. Great.
Hey, later. Thanks, Tom. Thanks, Nathan. Hey, congratulations, Dennis. Good time.
You're welcome. Great job, Dan.
All right,
see you soon in one of these leagues. Well, SME for right around the corner. Have a good day. Congratulations. Yep. There we go. Jeff Heath, Dennis. How much money did it win off you with Jeff Heath? I forget.
$20. $20. Our little side bets.
Do you know that bet, Nathan?
Yeah, that he'd get a 5.
Yeah.
That's why I drafted him in this league and then traded him to Dan the next year.
Okay. Dennis, we haven't made a bet in a while. We're gonna make a bet. What was the last bet we made?
I think it
That's
right.
Oh, it's right. I'm sorry. But didn't we do the Super Bowl? I thought you gave me. I think the last 2 Super Bowls, he was like, I just want to bet just to make it interesting, like $10. And you let me choose the team. I think I took the Chiefs.
Yeah, but we both wanted the Chiefs this year, so we didn't do it.
Yeah. Oh, okay, we didn't do this year. Okay. So, and some of those, I'm like, I don't really know who's going to win this game. I don't really want to pick on the bet. There's like, come on, let's make it bet. I was like, fine. So I think we only did that once with the Rams Patriots Super Bowl, I think. So, but so how are things up in Mammoth Lakes?
Good. We're having a lot of fun. But Nathan, the game that I beat you on, you could have easily won that one too. So
yeah, that was a great game. That was very exciting.
So I mean, this could be you. We could be the 3 of us here, but interviewing you as the winning coach. So.
All right, thanks.
Exactly.
Yes. If you win your game in Spring Fever, that'll be our 6th Super Bowl that I can think of.
Wow.
And you beat me in so far 4 of them, 4 out of 5.
Wow. That's pretty cool. Because I was like Dan was saying, this is the first time we met in the Super Bowl. It's hard to get, to meet your friends in a Super Bowl. I've been trying to, I've done it with Tom maybe once, but that's cool that we've done it 6 times. I think Spring Fever.
USFL, Dennis.
Yes, we.
That small. No, and also Samson. That small summer sprint USFL thing we played in the Super Bowl.
Right. So we had what 2 Super Bowls in all the years we
played. My quarterback Alan Risher had a rough game.
Yeah, he did. But you got your revenge in the
Samson
Super Bowl, knocking out my.
But then you got your revenge last year, beating my undefeated team in the playoffs.
That's true.
I really won. That's I don't know. I don't think people go around trying to get revenge on you, Dennis, because it tends to be a futile effort. You do. Is that what you said, Nathan?
I want revenge.
Oh, Nathan wants revenge. Okay.
I got to get past Chicago first. They beat me by 30 points in the regular season.
Who's the Chicago coach?
Jason Owens. Chicago Blitz. He blitzed the hell out of me and kicked my butt. So.
I heard a rumor that Nathan is not interested in Cooper Kupp anymore. Have you heard that?
I did not. Are we going to work out a 3-way autumn win trade right here?
Do you want Cooper Kupp on your team?
Yeah, I was going to offer you my first for all 3 of those guys. You can just give me that whole pile of garbage.
Or the other 2 guys like
pile of garbage.
The buffet play. I've done that with you a couple times where I traded you my first round pick.
Cooper Kupp is not part of any piles of garbage. That's when you're drafting 30th.
Kupp, Norwell, and John Jenkins.
It's Andrew Norwell. Andrew Norwell. You think of Scott Norwood?
Yeah, Andrew Norwell.
I'll give you Scott Norwood.
I'm good on that. I'll pass wide right on that one. So.
Put it back for you to the road shot of that
one. Where's our sound effects?
Do you need a guard?
Yeah, I could use a guard. I have a 0-4 now.
What are they give me for Andrew Norwell?
I'll give you a 4th round pick.
He's frozen in disbelief. We lost you, Dennis. Disaster at Mammoth Lake.
I don't have many picks to trade in that league.
Dennis, we lost you. You know any picks to trade? Is that what you said?
I've got my 1st round pick, and that's about it. I got like a 7th and a 10th.
Yeah, you have your 1st round pick because you have no other choice. You're not allowed to not have your 1st round pick. The Dennis, now that we lost, I'm going to move him from the stream. Maybe he'll get the idea. Dennis, we lost you. But he's still talking. Oh, there we go. Now he left. Okay. I'll wait a minute. Let me see if he's on. He's on here. I will Well, wait a minute, see if he comes back on. My friend just called me. I was concerned. I hadn't heard from him in a while. He's sick. He got the virus. He got COVID-19. He was sick. I hadn't heard from him in 10 days. I was like, oh, he's older. But he just called me. So thank God. I guess it means it's at least he's alive. At least he's alive. I hate to think that way, but well, it looks like Dennis not coming back on. So I think we're going to call it a show, call it a season. I'm very glad for one, Nathan, that we are retiring the 2018 card set. As far as I know, you still have some action, Spring Fever?
I'm in the Spring Fever Championship waiting for either Dennis or Jason Owens.
Okay, nice. And that's in the Oops family of leagues?
Yep. Okay,
a lot of fumbling over there. So
I've had 7 fumbles in 2 playoff games lost.
Ouch. It is Oops then, Nathan. That's what's going to happen. So I think I'm going to run here. I got some stuff I got to do myself. Got to get up in the chair. So, all right, everybody, great game, great season. Congratulations, Dennis. Amazing accomplishment. Good job by Dan. And I'll see you soon, Nathan.
See you later.
Later, guys. Bye-bye. Hey, Cherry.